So, I have another phone to review slash setup. This is going to be slightly different from the previous Galaxy phone review that I did a couple of weeks ago now. So this is more of an in-depth look on how to set a phone up. This video is probably more for people who isn't really technically inclined. Now, your argument could say, well, how can they be watching YouTube if not on a mobile phone? Well, in some certain situations, you can actually watch a YouTube video on your TV. However, if you're just getting into new technology, or for some reason you haven't bothered with a smartphone yet, this will be a almost step-by-step guide of how to set up a phone, including the review of this one. So what we've got here is the Galaxy A05s from Samsung, and it's now a silver one. So what this phone is it comes under the budget type. It's £100 here in the UK, and I purchased it from Argus. So let's get on with it. So the first thing you need to do is actually physically unopen it. Well, oh, that's better. And you do it both sides. Yeah, there you go. And then we can pack that away. And we'll see what's in the box. Put that to one side. So, one thing at a time. Let's move that out the way. So what we've got here is the, well, I'm not sure really, because I haven't opened it up yet. This is the USB Type-C cable. This is your main charging cable, and it's also the main cable to transfer data from one phone to another, or from a phone to a computer, depending on what your setup is. And we're looking for the little pin. Oh, no pin on that one. So this is the phone, and it's a silver one. Let's unopen it first. Oh, there you go. First impressions, actually quite nice. It's a silver one, good decent cameras, and most importantly, yeah, seems physically built well. Like I said, this is the budget range from Samsung. You can go more dearer than this. However, that's not what I will be buying. And this is a SIM from Vodafone. Let's open you up. So basically, with SIM cards, if you're coming from like a bricked phone, so like anything past a Nokia or a really basic phone, your SIM can be a little bit bigger than that. So what you need to make sure that there you go, that your phone SIM that you've got is neither, well, roughly that size or that size. It needs to be that size. So for this stage of the setup, you'll probably be in a phone shop anyway. So if you're not, that's fair enough. So what you've got here is the pin to open up the SIM tray. Okay, so what we do first is we find where the SIM tray is, and in this one it's there. So what you do is you get your little pin and you press it in slightly, and then you might hear a crunch. There you go. Nope, not quite done. There you go, now it's done. So you take the SIM card out, and this one, oh, it's actually got the capability for an SD card, which is very, very handy. So you put that one in there, like so, you click it in, and then you put it in there like so, and then you start it up. Right, so you've turned your phone on. Now what's happening is that Android operating system is booting up. You've got two predominantly operating systems. You've got Android and you've got Apple iOS. Now I've always had Apple, although due to filming I've had to have Samsung because it's just easier to film on, and most importantly the phone that I'm actually using at the moment is also a Samsung. The best thing about it, you can insert a SD card to increase the memory, which in my opinion is bloody fantastic. Okay, so what we do is that we press start. So you'll have the options depending on where you are in the world of which English you want to use. Obviously it's already selected English UK or United Kingdom. You can have English United States, English New Zealand, etc, etc, etc. So what you do there is you press next. So what this is basically data gathering. So I agree to the end user license. This is an agreement that Samsung may update your phone software automatically from time to time, ensure the safety, security and functionality of your phone. Now you agree to that one, and then the diagnostic data, you don't need to agree to that. That's in my opinion anyway. So we click on next. Okay, now there's two ways to set up a phone. You can either do it manually, or you can set it up by basically having the settings off another Android phone using what we call the Smart Switch app. Now the problem is that I can do it, I can show you, but I'll be doing it later on in the video. This is more for people who hasn't got another Android phone or another iPhone or anything like that to use. So we set up manually. Okay, so what this is now doing is that it's trying to connect to Wi-Fi, which is very important. So my Wi-Fi is obviously Vodafone. And then what you can do there is that you could input the Wi-Fi code. Now the keyboard, I should say, is very simple to use. It's just touch type and it's got a nice click to it. Also, if you click on that icon there, where it's the I cross shield, it will show the password. Now, obviously, I'm not going to input my passcode onto the phone whilst filming, but in order to use the phone and set it up correctly, you will have to put your own passcode in from your own router. Now, if you haven't got a Wi-Fi router, I mean, you can do it technically through mobile data, but I'm doing it by a step-by-step process. So what I'll do now is I'll do a quick jump cut. 1 second. While I remember how to use the actual keyboard correctly. So you've got two parts to it. You've got the numerical, which is at the bottom, at the top, and then you've got the icons. Now, if it's not already set on ABC, if you click that, then you've got the option of inputting. Just press the button or whichever character you need once. If you want it to go to capital locks or have something in a capital, that arrow there, you press that, and then obviously it stays capital. Yep, and if you press and hold, it stays in capital. I prefer just to press it and put a capital in, one character at a time. Okay. Okay, I've inputted my passcode for my broadband, and now it is connected. Quite a straightforward way to do it. You can use the QR code. So basically, if you press that icon and go up to the router, it will scan it and it will automatically log on or connect to your router. This is the problem. It keeps on going off, but we'll sort that out in a second. Okay, service provider setup. So you need to restart to set up features and services from your service provider. So what we'll do now is we will restart and we'll do another jump cut. So while the phone is restarting, this is probably the best of the budget under £100 phone. I give £100 for it. At the present time, I've started to do a fair bit of hiking and walking, and I don't particularly want to take my phone, especially if I go, for example, gigging or festivals, but I still want something with a decent camera, and if I lose it, I lose it. Whereas if I lost my iPhone, that's a story for another time. Right, so what's happening now is that the operating system just needs to restart itself. Okay, so once again, we'll just wait for it to load back up. Okay, it says getting your phone ready. This may take a few minutes. So I'll see if I can do another jump cut. Yep, that's probably the best thing to do. Several minutes later, it's asking to copy apps and data. You can choose to transfer your apps, photos, contacts, Google account, and more. So what we'll do is we will not copy. Checking info, checking more info. During the video, what I should say now is that you can sign into a Google account. You may not necessarily have one, so you don't necessarily need this step straight away. So we'll skip that bit. Now, this is an important bit. A lot of the Android phones would like more information off you. You don't necessarily need it for the majority of the working of the phone or even some of the apps, even though some of the apps do ask for location and, for example, Google Maps. So at the moment, we're not going to allow this. So we're going to turn that off. Now, you click that once and it goes off. That's on, that's off. And then you've got another send usage and diagnostic data. That will also be switched off. And then we'll click accept. Choose your search engine. Now this is important because obviously it's depending on which search engine you're used to or comfortable using. Obviously a lot of people uses Google. So what we'll do is we'll click next and we'll just stay with Google. Now you can go down for more, and when you scroll down it's set as default, which is what I'm going to do. Now this is an important part. You can have face recognition, fingerprints, PIN, password or pattern to protect your phone. So when you lock the screen, you need something to unlock it with. At the present time, I'm going to just leave it as it is and skip that bit. Actually, no. I'm going to put a PIN in. Obviously, for the sake of the video, we'll use the PIN. So let's say we need at least 6 digits is recommended. Okay, so today's date is the 29th of the 12th, 24. So we'll confirm the PIN by clicking without tapping OK. Confirm PIN without tapping OK. Continue. So we'll do it again. 29 of the 12th, 24. Okay. So what we've done there is we've added a level of security to it. So what we need to do now is forgot password or don't have an account. This is a Samsung account. You don't necessarily need this in order to set the phone up. So what we'll do is we'll set up later in settings. That's not necessarily something that anybody needs. Okay, that's not seem to. There you go. Why do you need a Samsung account? Now, find your devices if they're lost, sign into apps, track exercise, sync apps, copy and paste between your phone, tablet, and computer, make and receive calls from your tablet, helps kids learn healthy digital habits and use their devices safely. Again, for the sake of the argument of this video, this is more of a if you've just received this phone and you don't know how to set it up. They are options and applications that you don't necessarily need straight away. So what we'll do there, we'll skip that one. Right, so this is an important bit. Samsung service legal information. Agree to the terms and conditions below to use apps like the Galaxy Store and Galaxy Themes without a Samsung account. So what you can do here is you can just skip everything. And then customer service permissions. Give your customized stickers, search results, routes, and more by allowing Samsung apps to share information with each other. This service requires the calendar, call logs, contacts, location, nearby devices, physical activity, SMS, and files and media permissions. You don't necessarily need to do that in order to set the phone up. I always prefer dark. So you've got two choices, either light or dark mode. It's much more easy on the eye. So what's happening now is that it's just booting up. Oops. So I think I got a bit carried away then. Apps will be downloaded when you're connected to Wi-Fi. You don't necessarily need the My Vodafone app, especially on the iPhones. You don't need it at all. Unfortunately, for the Android ones, you do. So if there's a way of just clicking next, just click next. Okay, now on finish. Your experience is loading and discover and install great apps. Oh, yep. So basically, when anything like that happens, just press the home button, right? So discover and install great apps. So we can connect that to later. Okay, so what we've got here is the main screen / home screen. So you've got a couple of things that's going on. First off, you've got the time and date. You've got the settings. You see that arrow that's coming down? That's basically it's downloading stuff. That's another icon. You've got the Wi-Fi. You've got your battery. So what we need to do first is we need to go in the settings. So what you do is you scroll it up, settings, and then what you need to do now is you need to go on the apps. And I think I've gone past it. No, I haven't. Okay. Now, some of the applications on a mobile phone is not needed. Some of the applications on an Android phone is needed. So anything to do that says Android is probably a necessity. So let's start off with AR emoji. We'll click on that. Now, what I normally do is I click on the permissions first. And what you do is you click again and you click don't allow. And then you go back. And then you click on the microphone, don't allow. Then you go back, etc., etc., etc. Now, this is just for one application, and you've got a lot more to go. So, notifications. You click on notifications. You make sure none of the notifications are on. And you keep scrolling down, appear on top. So, again, you don't need any of this application whilst using this phone. Change system settings allowed. Allow permissions. Turn everything off. Now, this is the important bit. Force stop. If you force stop an app, it may cause errors. Okay, we don't mind that. And then you click disabled. And then you disable the app completely. Okay, so you've got this control center down at the bottom. with the back arrow that takes you back to the list. Now it says disabled. Now all you've got to do is copy and paste exactly what I've just done before. So I'll do it one more time. Like I said, AR emoji stickers, you don't need AR zone. Anything to do with the configuration of the phone, like configure APX, device care, digital well-being, Google Drive, emergency alerts, Facebook, is not needed. Even the Galaxy Store and Galaxy themes, you don't need an application to view a website. And if you do decide to go back and start these apps up again, that's fair enough. But I've had an Android phone for over 4 years, and a lot of these applications is not needed. What I will do, though, I'll show you how to uninstall an application. So let's see if LinkedIn can be uninstalled. Yes, it can. So what you do there is you see that button there where it says uninstalled, or it goes to a bin. Do you want to uninstall this app? Yes, I do. And it's gone, thankfully. Now, this can be done over and over and over. Again, Netflix, uninstall, haven't got an account. Some apps won't allow to be uninstalled. Some will just be for example, the operating system. So that pretty much covers what you do with the applications. Okay, so we go back onto the main screen, and what we want to do now is that we want to declutter everything. So we don't want that. So what you do there is you press and hold the screen. There you go. And what this does now is that it gives you an option to delete the panes. So for example, if you don't want that, you get rid of it. Delete the page. Yes. So we don't particularly want anything like that. Okay. So I'll just do a quick jump break, and I'll just come back in a second once I've just figured one more thing out. Technical jump cut there. So basically what you want to do is declutter the phone before you start using it. Applications that you don't necessarily need nor want. Obviously you don't know right away what you do and don't need. So for example, I like to have a very clean and fresh home screen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press and hold the screen. Right, and it's going to give me an option of settings. So add media page to home screen. We don't want that. Add icon badges. We don't want that anyway. Swipe down for notification panel. No, we don't want that either. And then you go back one more time, and you're still scrolling up, and you're still having this main page. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the Google one, and then we'll click remove. These are applications that are not needed. For example, the weather app, that's to be removed as well. So again, we've now got a more cleaner and more easy to use home screen. Once again, we can do more adjustments, and obviously we can set it up to our personal preference. So let's see what else we can do. We don't want that. And do we need that? No, we do not. Okay. So at the present time, you'll be wondering, how do I make and receive a phone call? That's more simple. What you do is you click on the phone icon, you input your telephone number, and then press call. You want to ignore that one because that's an application for a service from Google. So we'll try and remove ourselves away from that. If you want to add a contact, what you do is you can use the recent one. Oh, that's my telephone number. Please don't stalk me on there. What you can do is you've got no contacts. So what you do first is you type in a number, and then it will give you an option right at the top of the page to send a message settings. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a few phone numbers in, and I'll get back to you. So once you've inputted a number, you've got that plus sign there. If you click it once, you've got an option of add to contacts, create new contacts, and update existing contact. So you can create a new contact, and it will ask you for a name or even a photo. So let's say we call this Tik Tok. Oops. So it's Tik Tok. And then if you want to collapse the keyboard, just press that button there. And then once you've had a chance to save, you can save it. Select where to save this contact. Okay. So what's happening there? It's asking to save the contact to, and then you've got phone and SIM. The SIM will only take so many contacts. The phone, however, will take a lot more. So we click on phone. So now it's going to be saved. There you go. So that's pretty straightforward. If you want to send a text message, you've got this icon down there. Setting up our RSC chats, we don't need that yet, so you just close that. So, oh, sorry, that's Google Messages. We don't need that one quite yet. Let's see where the... they don't make these things easy, do they? One second, I'm going to have to find the relevant app. Actually, it's more simpler than I thought. Again, with me not setting up one of these phones for a while, even I have to learn these things. So you click on that messenger. You can either type in a name, phone number, or email. Obviously, we've already got Tik Tok already set up. Now, if in order to send a text message, all you've got to do is type it out, which is quite simple, which is basically a case of, hi, please subscribe. And it's also auto text, spelling as well. And then you click SMS. There you go. Can't send message with Vodafone, error 0. So basically it's not working. If you want to scroll the internet, what you do is you go on Google. You can get several, just go on Google in general, and then just type what you need to type in. So in my case, Wonbaney. Okay, that's not working. Okay, that's not working either. Ah, yes, it is. So if you want to watch YouTube, which I would recommend, you just click on that. Allow you to send notifications. Don't allow. What you need to do now is ignore my phone talking. Reject all. Your settings have been saved. Right. Minipul is off for mobile made for kids videos to tap play resume. You don't need anything like that. So what's happened here is that once you get used to your phone, let's type in Chrome, let's go into Chrome, use without an account. No thanks. Saving. Got it. So, oh, we don't need to go in the independent. Thank you. To use Chrome, very simple. Type in Wonbaney and click go. Now, it keep asking you to accept all. I don't like anything like that, so I keep saying reject all. Oh, I've got a place on the map. Oh, very interesting. I've got videos. I've got my YouTube. I've got my TikTok. And I've got various others. I didn't know there was a hat there. So, what we've covered in this video. 3 things. how to set a video, how to set it up, how to send a text message, and obviously how to use the phone in a way that's easy for someone who hasn't had a phone before. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to erase the phone, and I'm going to use the Smart Switch app on a Samsung phone that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago to show how easy it is to do it if you've got a Samsung phone already. 1 second. So in order to use the Smart Switch application, which is basically the data transferred from one phone to another, it's a Samsung app, and you click on Smart Switch. So what you need to do is just keep scrolling down, click continue, and then basically allow everything. So what you need to do now is you need to get another phone to set it up. Oh, and there goes my iPhone. And it'll ask you to transfer your data. So 1 second. The phone that I'm using to record is basically, that's how it's all set up on the new phone that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago. So what you need to do is you need to go into the smart, if there is a smart switch, which it isn't. 1 second. Okay, so we've got two Samsung phones. One is basically a blank. The other one is blank as well, because it's never been actually used yet. Oh, let's put the code in first. So it's going to happen now is that it's going to ask to send or receive the data. So you take that out of the sleeve. So what you want to do is you want to put that one in there like that. And then put that one in there like that. So the one on the right is going to send the data through the cable. Connect this phone to your new Galaxy cable. Use a USB connector and connect the right. So what's gonna happen now is that it's asking me to connect it up to the cable. I was a bit too quick then. There you go. Hopefully something will receive. Transfer your data. So what you want to do is receive the data. And then click connect. Click next. Click skip. Keep your screen on. Keep your screen on. This may take a couple of minutes, so I'll do a jump cut. Several moments later, including me trashing the place, it's now back up. So we click done. So that will go to how it was before, organizing your transfer data. 11 minutes left. So I'll be back in 11 minutes. The good news is I don't need to be 11 minutes, but it's asking me to disconnect my phone. Okay, let's disconnect that one and put that back into its box. So swipe up. Oh, we have to put the pin in. So the pin's going to be slightly different to when it was before. 1 second. So what we're going to have to do is just leave that, let it just vegetate for 10 minutes. About 12 minutes later, data transfer results, 22 items. Let's click next. So we click done. So basically, this has been set up similar to the phone I've just showed. Very few apps. The settings the apps need to be all deleted. However, that's not the point. The point is that I can easily do that without needing to film it because I've already showed it. I think that one might cover it. Thank you very much for watching. If there's any questions, any technical questions, let me know. I might do a follow-up video on this if this one goes well. See you soon.